What up? What up?
All right, so listen. So I got some grief at the beginning of the or in the pre-show. Everybody was like, "Why'd you pick $80?" All right, look, I'm sorry, it's a little white privilege shit. This is what I would normally do. All right, so like I looked at $80 as being a little bit like anything around that area. I'm going to buy it every time, right? So at least I do, and I discovered that's white privilege. And believe it or not, what he told to me about our multi-diverse group here. But so we're going to talk about that tonight a little bit here in a little bit. Before we get started, though, smash the like button or the notifications. Follow us. By the way, Daniel says hello. This is the guy that found us. Like this hanging out on YouTube. Who knows what the hell he was looking at? But come across us. But anyway, we love that.
Right.
And anyway. Anybody got anything new to talk about? Anything? Oh, I meant to say all the things. Like, turn on notifications, subscribe, share it with people. And if you have any bad hate mail that you want to send, it's David Papayan.
Whiteprivilege.com.
Yeah, it's at whiteprivilege at AOL.com. Anyway, so guys. Everybody, welcome to the show. Let's have a good time here.
Listen, here's the funny thing. So, if you guys know, I'm into cars and whatnot. I've been into cars for a long time. So, all over social media, there's this jacked up F-150, right? Craziest thing.
Is it an old square body or is it a new one?
No, it's one of the newer ones.
Oh, okay. You had me an old square body. Those things are sexy.
Across the front grille, it says white privilege. So I'm thinking, that's an odd way to name your vehicle. Hey, cool, no problem. So, of course, I go through the profile and I look the thing up and just to see what it's all about. So let's see if you guys could see it there.
Yeah.
I like that. That's pretty awesome.
So you see the thing's all jacked up, nasty and whatnot. So the craziest thing is, white privilege is owned by a black guy.
That is hilarious.
Oh, that's too cool.
It's called white privilege. Let me see what his name is. Joel Parkert.
He's got a white name though.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know too many black folks that named Joel.
So his truck is called white privilege because it's basically all white, but it's owned by a black guy.
That's awesome.
I'm thinking that's I see what you did there.
That's awesome.
Interesting for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
I dig it. So anyway, for me tonight, I'm drinking. I'm having some of the company, and this is the cast strength. This comes straight from the distillery. It's 58.57% proof. That's
Nice.
roughly 117. It's good times. It can make you blonde if that's where you want to go to. But on the finish, the best part of it is the it finishes like French toast. It has that nice. Most of you guys have already had it because I've sent it to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But it's on point. But I like it. I like it a lot. I like going down there to the little bar there. Billy's been there with me. He knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's a nice place to go. You got to meet Shauna. I think that was her name that was there that time. The girl that rides the horses. Wasn't it right? Or was it a guy?
Is she right?
No, there was a girl there.
Yeah, it was Shauna. I think it was Shauna.
Yeah.
So,
And what did she ride again?
horses.
Oh.
She's a nice piece of eye candy on top of all of that.
Yeah. She was really sweet. She was. I mean, I don't think she works there anymore. I haven't seen her, but I also have not been looking for her. And I also haven't been down there that often. I went down there yesterday to meet with to have a drink, which was awesome. A drink with Little John, and I got to meet his son for the first time. I can't believe we've been friends as long as we haven't. I've never met his son, and he's solid. I put it in the chat. He's a solid 3 now.
Yep.
Big kid, a lot of fun. Though he says he's getting ready to turn 4. That's how he told me, and I was like, "That's not how it is." 4. And I'm like, "You sure? Can we count that together? 1, 2, 3. I don't think one of these is too many." You can pick which one, you know. But anyway, so it's good times. So that's what I'm having tonight. What about the rest of you guys? Charlie, what are you having?
I'm doing a pour from Lost Lantern, independent bottler, one of my favorite independent bottlers. This is from Rich Grain Distilling Company, Gulf Distillery out of Kenton, Mississippi.
Oh wow.
And apparently Lost Lanterns bought a lot of barrels from this defunct distillery because they got this one, which is a single barrel. They've got one called Mississippi Memory, which is a blend of barrels from Rich Grain. They've done a couple of other single barrel releases for some private groups. But yeah, this one's, again, everything I've ever had from Lost Lantern, awesome. This one is 70.4, so 140.8 proof. Hot, but
It
good.
is hot at 140. Yeah, that's real fucking hot.
That's in that territory there.
He
That
likes
is-
that. He loves that
No,
shit.
he told us that before the show. He does like it a little warm. Gino, what about you,
I do.
brother?
I started out this evening with some Weller CYPB.
Got a steal on that too, man. Tell everybody where you got that and how much you paid.
I'm not going to tell where, but
Okay,
one of my local stops that I stop at usually once or twice a week, he came out with this and he says, "Are you interested?" I says, "How much?" He said, $70. And
I would
said,
have been like,
"Oh."
you got a case in the back, and I'm buying all of
There
it.
you go.
Well, I asked if he had more than one. He said, "No, this one's the only one he had left." He
Okay.
gets a couple of
Nice.
those every now and then. He says, I said, "Put me on the list."
Yeah,
There you
that's
go.
awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, delicious. I love it. I mean, it's your regular wheat. I mean, you get the caramel, you get the vanilla, you get a little bit of cherry. But what I really enjoy about this is right before the finish gets going, maple syrup. It's just light in the background, a nice, good maple syrup.
Dig it.
Delicious.
Dig it. Yeah, so the last time I had the CYPB is I'm almost 100% sure that I was at the Patterson House here in Tennessee. And if you've never been there, it's a speakeasy that's really, really cool. Awesome if you wanted to go on a date there or something. It's pretty snazzy, but it's just a nice place to go. You can go have a nice drink. They do have bar food, but they have behind, like, so they have the bar, and then on the bookshelves everywhere is where they have all their whiskey. And you can walk around and pick what you want, and they'll pick it out for you and then pour you a glass of it. Now, that could also be bad too, because I went to the social this past Friday, and I said they had GTS, and I was like, I have a bottle of GTS, but I was buying myself and my buddy a drink, and I was like, I'll have that. We'll have what I said was we'll both have a double. All right, $301. I didn't ask for the price prior to, but again, I guess we're going back to the whole white privilege thing. I didn't really fret it. It's just I was like, wow, yeah, it kind of got me there. I mean, it's not the first time I ever did that. I was out with a really awesome person, and we spent about $1,200 in a single night, so on whiskey and cigars. So it happens. But anyway, what about you, BBC? What you got going on?
All right. So
First, are
I
you in a
did
prison cell? What's going on here?
say it again.
Are you in a prison cell or something? What's going on here?
No. You know, I'm in DC with my dad's.
So you are in a prison cell.
But
You see what I did there?
yeah, I so I cracked this open. This was one of those Florida bottles. Oh, remind me to tell you guys something later. But anyway, so this was a pick from now Corona Cigars, used to be called Davidoff's in Tampa. Damn good. This is one of my favorites called French Kiss.
Oh yeah, I've had that. That's not the one you sent me. I got one of those down in Florida as well at Tweakers.
Okay.
It's
I'd
not
be
a
scared of that
place,
bottle, but okay.
but it was. What's that?
I'd be scared of that bottle.
No, it's
Yeah.
just the name of the liquor store. But man, it's on the Panhandle side, right there in Panama City, next to the
Okay.
Publix. They do fantastic store picks down there, and they watch the show, so that's the reason why I'm throwing them out there too. So they're
Okay,
awesome
cool,
people.
cool.
Nice.
So, what about you there, Mr. Puffrey?
So I am drinking something I picked up at one of my favorite boutique distilleries outside of Hopkinsville, directly north of Fort Campbell, called MB Rollin. They are fairly young. Most of their whiskeys are still young, but they have a phenomenal flavor out of them. This particular one is their dark fired. So it's 45% corn and then 33% corn that they smoked.
Oh, wow.
And then it's red wheat and a barley in it. And so it's got this just really deep smoky flavor.
Now I'm mad. I spent almost 2 months last year at Fort Campbell, and I kept seeing a distillery.
Should have gone.
I was so damn tired. I didn't go.
The better thing is you were less than an hour from me for 2 months and you didn't call me.
No, I came down once.
Oh, was that during that time?
Yeah.
Okay, that's different then.
But it's a neat little distillery. They actually bought an Amish farm, and now the Amish farm is a distillery. It's a great little place. The other one I got to try is their Bottled and Bond, which is actually the oldest aged whiskey they have. This one, this is their spring release, and it's 5 years. But for a distillery that has such a young product, the flavor is better than I've had from any other spirit that's that young. Because most of their stuff is less than over 2, but less than 4. But I don't know how they're getting such an amazing flavor that overcomes the ethanol that you usually get out of a young whiskey.
Well, I wonder if that's the reason why they do the roasted. I think you said roasted corn as well, or smoked corn.
Well, I've had their other stuff that's not the dark fired, and it tastes phenomenal. They do rye whiskey. They do a wheat. They do a malt. They do a wheated bourbon and a rye bourbon. They do a really wide variety. They actually also do a agave spirit, which if it was made in the right area of Mexico would be a tequila.
Right.
That's excellent. All of their stuff has been excellent.
That's a curious conundrum. If you made bourbon, for example, in Mexico, specifically in the agave area, and you used, it wouldn't be bourbon. Well, I'm sorry, you're right. It would not be bourbon. I need to say it differently. If you made whiskey in that area, I apologize. You're absolutely right. I guess I'm just trying to get past that part and think, what would they do? How do you do that? How do you do the labeling on it? Because there are specific rules, like you pointed out, for bourbon. And I'm just wondering, like a good.
If it was sold in America, they would just have to label it as whiskey.
Yeah. But if it was sold in Mexico, it'd be labeled as what? Tequila?
No, because tequila has to be blue agave.
Okay. Well,
they'd probably just label it bourbon. I'm sorry, they'd probably just label as whiskey.
Cool. All right, Billy. Cafe 305.
So, tonight I'm just having some high quality H2O, because I've been doing a lot of drinking and smoking in the early morning. So
all I'm hearing is a bunch of excuses.
I decided to take a break this evening because I've literally started drinking at like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Nice.
Well, that might be a little early. That might be an identifier of a problem.
You can't drink all day.
You don't start in the morning.
No, I realize that. It's been told to me by numerous people.
And I like to look at it like this. It's never too early for a bad idea.
See, as I've gotten older, I disagree with all of that premise. Now, if you got me 10, 15 years ago, I'd been like, you know what, you're goddamn right. But now I'm like, how am I going to pay for this? Like, what's going to happen next? Am I going to wake up not feeling well? Because I don't want that. How many migraine pills do I got to take before I go to bed? How much water should I drink?
But see,
these are all things.
At that point, I've been up for like 6 hours.
Dude,
so
the last time I had, in my opinion, we had too much to drink, it was with you.
Yes.
On my back porch. And it was at one point we were both like leaning, and I think we were trying to share the same bench almost to sleep on. And we had a fire going. I'm sorry, one of those white privilege fires. So don't anybody think I actually got wood out and made a fire. That's not what happened. It was, I pushed a
It's the
button.
prettiest thing you've ever seen.
I pushed a button, it came on. And so anyway, I'm laying there like this, and my chair doesn't do that. So I don't really know how I got there. It was this big wicker chair that I'm sitting in, but I'm like this. And about that time, I see Billy lean over like that too. And then I see my dog looking through the window behind him. And it's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. And it was at that point I realized we fucked up.
Billy, Chief couldn't save you, huh?
I'm sure the dog was looking out the window like, what in the actual fuck is going on?
That's exactly what he was doing. He was like, come on, man, I'm ready for bed. Where's my cuddle buddy? That's what he wants to do. Dude, he was probably thinking all of those things. And it had to be, what, 1 o'clock in the morning? We're still hammering down?
At least.
And then we're both up at 5:30. Like nothing ever, and don't get me wrong. We got up at 5:30 and we told each other like nothing really happened. But we paid for that shit all day long. And then we started drinking again. And then we both felt better.
we was rethinking our whole life. Believe me.
It's good times.
It was good times. But listen, when I was up there for those couple of days, I have never drank so much in my life.
Well, don't make it sound like that, because that makes it sound like it's all my fault, and that's not true.
Oh no, we were co-conspirators for sure. Nobody tried to stop it.
We went to every distillery that was close by too. We went to all of them. We had a great time.
So I got a question.
No Dave? No Dave?
No,
What?
Dave was there too,
It
but
was there.
because I think he slept down here on the couch, if I remember correctly.
So I got a question. At what point in the evening did the two of you start into a rendition of Ebony and Ivory?
No, we did that earlier in the day, and we really did. We were driving, and what's funny is I started singing it, and then Billy started singing it, and then Dave was like, "This is racist."
Okay, so before we go too far, let me tell you guys what happened. We went down to Uncle Near's distillery, right? The place is fabulous. We decided we're gonna get something to eat.
While we're there,
So while we're there, David is in front of us, and me and Jody are literally standing shoulder to shoulder. And there's this couple behind us, right? So I said to Jody, I'm gonna buy lunch. Jody, I can buy lunch. So I take my hand and I rub it across his back.
and I grab your ass.
in my best gay voice, I said, "Can I buy?" And you should have seen the couple behind.
Not only that, you should have seen Dave. Dave was like, "I can't believe what I'm this is like," he's such a social warrior. He was like, dude, he's making fun of gay people, and then they were singing Ebony and Ivory in the car, and this is just not right. This is a true story.
Oh, when I tell you guys, it was so, and it couldn't have been, if you would have planned that out, it wouldn't have looked as authentic, because
it was absolutely authentic.
Improvised. It was not planned, but I was like, "Come on, Zaddy."
Yeah, that's right. You did call me Zaddy. That is right. Because I then when we sat down, I was like, so I'm not really sure. I'm not hip on my lingo. So what is Zaddy? I don't understand.
Zaddy. Oh.
And but anyway, but what's even funnier than that, it started from the pickup. I pick him up, and he opened up the door, and he said it just like this. He goes, "I guess you're right. This is a big goddamn truck."
I mean, it's no white privilege.
It is. It really is. I was like, this is some white privilege country boy shit.
And then Dave's always telling me I need to get some balls put on it. But I actually seen something that was actually hilarious one day. I was driving up there to go to Tarek's place, and there was a truck in front of my truck, and he had a chain on the back, like, just, it was wrapped, but it had these two giant nuts, like bolt nuts on it, and they were like in there. I was like, so that's really truck nuts. That is funny.
Yeah.
Well, it's fantastic.
I bought a pair of truck nuts and put them on my wife's car without telling her. Unfortunately, she found out before she went to her parents' house. I was really hoping that her parents would notice the nuts on the back of her truck, but they did not.
When I was a police officer back in the day, we had, I think I've told this story before, but we had this, he's now deceased, but I had this sergeant named Paul Arnold. Super nice guy. I liked him. I had a great relationship with him. But we always fucked with him all the time. We got in trouble one time. Our whole shift got rode up because all that came out was we had tied a squirrel with a noose on the back of his patrol car, and he drove around for like 2 fucking weeks. Well, how we got in trouble for it was the squirrel's body eventually eroded away, but the head stayed on with the noose. And so, they're like, this is racist. And we're like, okay, we can't go that far anymore. So me and my infinite wisdom, so we just cleaned up that mess. And I'm like, I was at a store, I think it was at, what was that place inside the mall that everybody used to go to in their high school? Spencer's, yes. And I found I found a pride flag that says I don't even think straight, and I stuck that son of a bitch on the back of his car. He thought it was because he's Italian, and I was like, "Do you not even know the colors in your flag?" Like, so I stuck that on there, and then we of course got in trouble again. But none of us got wrote up the second time because they didn't have any proof of who did it. Though we did have security cameras all over the place. They're just like, it's another one of those bald-headed motherfuckers right there in a police uniform.
Damn.
With the supervisor. But yeah, we had a good time.
Oh man.
And if I ever find another one, I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna find someone else to do it too. But I have a friend of mine named Chad who lives out in the country with me, and he's always wearing overalls, speaks so country. You know, he has a really nice home and all this stuff, and with a lot of property. But he then sold part of his property to himself and built like the storage sheds and stuff on it for like people, not storage sheds, like storage areas, the little bays that have the garages and stuff. And he's making a lot of money doing that. But he built himself like this little dollhouse that he lives in most of the time. That has TV, cable, and all this stuff. And he sits there like people are coming in and out of that place 24 hours a day. And so he stays in that. He has this giant house over here, but he has this, I swear to God, it's like a little dollhouse. And he has everything in it, and to include his grill and smoker right outside it too. He just sits there the whole time. And but anyway, I think that would be a great sticker to go on the back of his tractor because he would never sit on the back of his tractor.
So for those of you who haven't been to Jody's house, his whole fucking neighborhood is fucking white. He has a neighbor who's directly across the street from him. He lives, when you know people say you live on a hill, this cocksucker really does live.
I live on a hill too.
Fucking hill.
Yeah, but he's so I found out a little bit more about him. He's the owner of the Bat building downtown. He's the person that actually leases it out to AT&T. Mm-hmm. And so it's an iconic building that's downtown, and he owns that. He owns that property in the building. He had it built for them. And then he owns like where Jason Aldean's place is, all up on that side of the road. He's on all that. And then in Leapers Fork, he owns, and of course, who was with me on that time? Was that Billy? You were with me.
Yeah, because we saw the bar.
We saw him and everything.
Yeah, and we saw the art gallery.
Yeah, he owns all that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now he's got serious FU money. And so much so, he's got a wife that's barely, I don't think she's older than me. And he is every bit of 10 years older than fucking Joe Biden.
Oh, shit.
Come on, man.
You've seen him? You've seen him? No, this isn't like, I'm not talking bad about, I'm not trying to make this political. I'm just saying we all can visualize Joe Biden, right? Add 10 years to him. That's this guy. And then he has a wife that I honestly swear to everything is probably 2 to 5 years younger than me with a ring on her finger that I don't think she could even close her hand.
Oh.
Yeah.
She gives good powders. She gives good baby powder.
I'm sure they get along. And they have I'm sure they have a whole lot to talk about. I mean, he built a church up there on top of that hill too that Billy's talking about, a chapel, so his daughter could get married in.
He built, goddamn.
Yeah, with it's like it has like I see its AC unit because he ran the AC unit where the I don't know what it's called, but HVAC, the big box that sits outside. It's on this side, like facing my house, of the trees that he put up so he didn't have to look at the riffraff.
So he didn't have to look at the white trash down the hill.
Common people.
The people on the other hill, the other trashy people.
Yeah.
But
Oh man.
He's awesome. Though.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if he's awesome. I haven't really met him that many times. I just know him. He seemed really nice to when I met him, but maybe that's because he thought, I don't care what this guy thinks because I have more money he'll ever have, which is probably true. I mean, he bought 273 acres, and he made the city of Columbia de-annex that property, and it's in Spring Hill. It's literally across the street from me. It's the only place that's in Spring Hill.
Damn. Okay.
So, like, if you go on the other side onto, I forget the name of that road, but it's Sam Johnson, I think. You go on the back side of that road. His house, because it's on both Rich Steele and Sam Johnson. On this side, on between that is the only place for like 10 miles that's in Spring Hill. And it's just a big circle. It's crazy.
I love it.
Damn.
He's
All
like,
right, so let's talk about our topic.
yeah.
So whiskey. How about that? Yeah.
Aren't the
People will
shenanigans
watch
supposed
this
to
show.
after the discussion?
No, I mean, I don't think anything's wrong with 27 minutes into it.
Nah.
It's all good.
All right, so we'll do a rapid fire for the first one. Charlie,
Okay.
first thing you would think of under $80.
Blue Note juke joint.
I agree with you. That's a fucking good one.
Good.
Always solid. And again, I think we talked about this maybe last week. It might have been off
Mhm.
air, but if they ever realize they could easily charge double for what they're putting out.
Yeah. Stop saying that.
Especially when you get
Every
barrel.
time we say something, it happens. Like for example, Penelope. We were talking about it, lasting forever and then never being, let you in. Oh, I'm sorry. There's actually 2 people wanting it. I'm sorry.
That's funny right there.
Sorry about that, Rob.
I've only been sitting here for like 10 minutes.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. I mean, that was completely. You know what? This is all David's fault. If David Papine was here doing what he's supposed to be doing instead of me,
Dave's fault.
this
Dave's
would have
fault.
never happened. It's totally Dave's fault. Fuck
Yeah.
you.
I agree.
So, anyways, yeah, I agree with you. But don't say that out loud because they sold Penelope to whomever they sold it to right after we were talking so much. So, like, apparently, one of the 2 people that watch us every week must be somebody that's important.
So we can edit that out before we go live, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, no.
Next week.
What about you there, Gino?
Right off the top, we were talking Penelope Toasted. Damn good bottle. Comes in
The
under
toast,
80.
the original toast and the extra toast are good. I agree with you.
Original toasted. Boom. It's good. You can find it regularly. It's not allocated yet, hopefully. But yeah, that's a solid pour under $80.
Billy?
Belvini Caribbean Cask, 12
Yeah.
year.
I thought it was 14.
14, is it? Yeah, 14.
It is 14 because I still have that bottle down here in the saved area. Oh, that's the wrong thing. In the saved area, Jody can't drink this stuff because David gets upset when I use it on food.
There it is.
He does. He gets so freaking butthurt that I use stuff on food. He's like, "You're using our liquor that we bought," and I'm like, "Dude, you've taken home 1,000 things of liquor that I have at my house. Who cares if I put a little bit on steak?"
Oh shit.
Perfectly fine.
Anyway, Puffery, what about you, brother?
So I'd say my first one would be Rebel Yell. If you get it in the cast strength,
10-year and a cast strength.
it just any of them in the cast strength, it's a phenomenal, underappreciated bottle.
I agree with you.
Yep.
I absolutely agree with that.
You used to be able to get it all the time here, even at like Total Wines and Spirits, just littered on the shelf. It's probably been at least a year since I've seen it.
I don't see the cast strength that much anymore, but I do see the 100 proof Rebel Yell 100.
Oh,
I see the 10-year
we were in
on
our
occasion.
we were talking about budget. That Rebel 100 is absolutely hands down the best budget bourbon.
Yes, sir.
Period.
That Evan Williams White Label, boom. They're both great budget. And Green River, I'll throw that in there for budget.
I can tell you, Green River, man. When I was at that bourbon, the Bourbon Classic last year in Louisville, the chefs they had pairing it with the Green River was fantastic. It was solid.
Dude, that Green River Full Proof is $50. That's insane. That's just
I just picked up that bottle last week. I picked up the regular weeded bourbon, and I picked up at a different store. I picked up the full proof.
Nice,
Delicious stuff.
All right, so what about you there, BBC?
All right. I know somebody disagree with me. I'm actually going to name two.
No,
I'm
you
gonna
can't.
go
This is round one.
All right. Knob Creek 12.
I don't agree with you at all.
I'll go with that.
Like I said, some won't
I
agree.
like it.
I was heavily disappointed with that.
Really?
Yeah, but we're moving on. We're moving on. All right, so Rob, what about you?
I mean, one of my favorites is the EC Toasted, Elijah Craig Toasted. I mean,
If you can find, that's the greatest toasted if you can find it. Yeah,
$59.99, and I will tell you, it is. I was just in Indiana last week, and every store I went into had Case Plus on the shelf.
Chuck
I've
was
actually
talking
been
about
seeing
that
a lot
in
more
chat
of it
today.
too. On the
Yeah, he was talking about that in chat today. It's coming off allocation for toasted.
Yeah. I mean, look, I got one with me.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. That would be one I would absolutely agree with you. Now, for me, honestly, I'm gonna go with the Maker's Mark, like what you're drinking tonight, the French toast one or French Kiss. I'm sorry, and that's a store pick. It generally runs about $79.99 here, between $69.99 and $79.99. Even when I'm in Florida, it's about the same price. But those store picks are generally on fire. I've never got one where I've been like, well, these are some dumb motherfuckers. So that would be in the top for me. Would be my first pick for round one. All right, so we're gonna shuffle it up a little bit. Rob, what would be your second under 80? I realize that's white privilege price, but we're just going with it. All right.
The Ben Halliday 7-year bottled and bond.
Yes, sir.
And that one is. Yes, I picked one up at $59.99, and I also picked up their Rick House proof for, I believe it was $79.99. So it's right at that $80 mark. But the Ben Halliday 7-year bottled and bond is fantastic.
I agree. Billy.
Okay, so for me, and I know I'm a fanboy, but it's a very consistent product. You can find it, and the price really hasn't shifted, I would say, since I've started drinking it, which is rare because a lot of the bourbons have gone up in price with everything that's going on. But any of the basic mixers, the A1A, the sour mash, or the rye, all of them are fantastic. To start off with, their price, availability, and if you wanted to switch it up, if you had all three of them in your house, you literally have 3 different pours.
Yeah.
So
I'm with you. I think for my second one, now you're not always going to find it at this price, but I would go with the 1792 Sweet Wheat. This is fantastic. As you can tell, you know.
Oh yeah, it is.
That one.
That's a solid one.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
What about you there, Gino?
Number 2 on the hit list, under $80, I would go with Uncle Nearest 1856. That's the 100 proof Uncle Nearest.
Is it? I thought it was 1854. No, it is 56. You're right. Hey, Rob,
1884 is their 80 proof, and the 56 is the 100 proof, and that's a solid pour, under $80. It runs right around up mid 60s.
I agree. It's awesome. What about you there, BBC?
Damned air conditioner.
What about you, BBC?
All right, so this one I'm gonna name. Rob will know this. I'm guessing most of you all have never tried it. Charlie, get back. I got you, brother. Old Fourth.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
which one?
With Old Fourth, you can pick their bottle and bond or their cask strength. Either one, both under 80, both excellent pours. They're just hard to get outside of Georgia and Florida.
See, I would have thought you would went with Fiddler because that is a fucking fantastic pour, and that's under $80.
Fiddler, that would be number 3.
Well, we're not there yet. You have to pick a different one. All right, so Charlie, what about you?
Probably just about anything from 3 chord. I've got like 4 single barrels from 3 chord, all of them under $80. think around 65, 70. Solid. I've not been disappointed yet by its record.
You know, the one I haven't heard yet that I'm is the what is that called? The one that's made by MGP. They're supposed to be dropping it like any day now. Is it called Rendezvous or something like that? No, that's not right. Damn, it'll come back to me here shortly. Anyway,
the only MGP produced that I know of is the George.
No, they have the Gatsby and then something else.
Okay, they've come out with.
I can't remember what it's called. If Chuck was Remus,
Chuck
that's it.
Remus.
Remus. Yep.
That's
Named
the way
after
we're
the
from.
gangster.
There it is. Sorry, I'm not, dude. Again, if I'm not keeping up with the chat, I apologize. This is not entirely my fault. This is
I agree
completely.
with Chuck on the Russell 10. I love that stuff.
1792 12 year, I gave that away to somebody, and that was fantastic. When we did the show down at American Barrel, it was me and David and Nathan. We got ready to leave because he hosted us. I said, "Look, just keep this bottle. It's yours. Enjoy it." Got that from. I didn't get that from him. I bought that, but what I'm saying is, I got that personality of giving every time you go to somebody's house or business from Jay. Jay is very giving. Jay will. Jay, will bring a $300 or one time he brought a $1,500 bottle up here and be like, "Let's all just drink from this." And I'm like, "Dude, what?" I mean, I won't even let people touch the Queen's bottle. I'm saving that for a very important date, which it ain't going to happen at this point now. But at some point, I'm going to save it. Might just be my death drink at this point.
Oh shit!
It's 100 and it's either 146 or 136 proof. It's solid. It's 25 year. It's a light whiskey though. But anyway, it's from Copper Skies, and I've got bottle number 1. But it's all irrelevant. All right, so Humphrey, did you go yet?
Yeah.
All right.
My second one, Chuck has kind of previewed it. It would be any Russell Reserve store pick. They're just every single one of them solid.
I agree.
Absolutely. You can't go wrong with the Russell Reserve store pick.
I agree. All right, so for me on I actually did my second pick. So far I haven't heard a lot of people throw out there, but there is a couple that I think that people are afraid to say, and I'm going to say them right now. Woodford Reserve, whether it's the double oak or if it's the red label or even just regular everyday Woodford Reserve.
Mm-hmm.
It is solid. Like you can if you go to a restaurant and they have that and that's all they have and that's we'll call it their top drink, that shit is good, right?
Double oak is awesome.
Yes, it is.
Excuse me one second. My neighbor's calling me. Y'all talk amongst yourself. I'll give you something to talk about.
All right, so
our bottles.
Are we on what, 3 now?
For my third choice, and I haven't heard anybody say it, so I'll put it out there. The Heaven Hill Bottle and Bonded, 7 years.
Oh yes, absolutely. and it's starting to be on the shelf every day now.
I got you, Rob.
It is all over the place nowadays.
Yeah,
that is a great one.
We can even get in Arizona now. Isn't that some shit?
Yeah, and so for me, the reason I chose that one as my third one, even with all my picks, I always try to choose something, with keeping under $80, something that's always consistent and always easy to find. The Heaven Hill wasn't always easy to find like it is now, but I feel like you could go most places and you can find the Heaven Hill 7-year bottle and bonded. So for me, that would be my third choice. And it's an easy drinker. If you was trying to bring somebody into the bourbon world, wouldn't be a bad way to bring them into it.
No, not at all.
And again, it's about that availability and the consistency, because I feel like that's the biggest thing, and keeping under that $80 mark, because of course you're not going to find any Stags or Stag Seniors or hell, even Eagle Rare's up over $80 now if you can find it.
That was going to be my number 3. Was going to be Eagle Rare. If you can find it for MSRP or even up to $79, that is a fantastic pour of whiskey. 10 years.
Yeah, it is.
Age. And I've thrown it out there as being probably the best 10-year ever, and I still believe that.
It's up there. Absolutely.
I would agree.
But,
here in Miami, if you can find it, it's upwards now. I swear to God, like every week it goes up. It's probably $125. And we all know. Listen, I still have the Magnum that I got from my local store. The Magnum I got for $80. The big one that they make.
Yeah.
I got that one for 80. There's no way I'm paying for a regular size.
No.
No, not a store pick or anything like that. $125 for Eagle Rare?
No, I'm not paying that either.
I think the fuck not.
So my third one, I'm kind of going like Billy did. Something you can get all the time. It's going to be very consistent. It's going to be solid pour every time. Evan Williams Bottle and Bond.
I was waiting for that one. That is a solid one. Very
it's
good.
like you can
That's
pick
a
a
sub
175 up for 30 or under, and if you feel like doing a bourbon and Coke or a bourbon and ginger ale, you don't feel bad.
Nope.
It's got the enough proof and enough flavor that it holds up to those sugary mixers.
Mhm.
Still comes the bourbon flavor comes through on it, but you don't feel bad that you're mixing it.
Yeah.
But you can sip it straight. You can.
Dude, I
do
feel
it
bad
with
when I pour
passion.
anything into another bourbon. I can't mix anything. I'll mix it with ice,
Nah, I mean,
maybe a drop of water, but other than that, I just can't mix it.
No,
I say that, but I do love Manhattans.
cocktail.
I love Manhattans that are made with bourbon. I do love that, and I realize that that's a mixed
Old
cocktail.
fashions
But
too, but
I'm not as big on the old fashions, but the Manhattans. If I can find somebody to make a fucking decent, like for example, American Barrel, he makes a chocolate Manhattan, and that is some of the best shit I've ever had in my life.
Okay.
But you do other mixed drinks with the bourbon and those flavors. If you blend the ingredients together, those flavors just complement each other and just really come out. And with the Evan Williams, it's good enough that it makes a mixed drink taste great, but you don't feel bad because it's a $25 to $30 for a 1.75. And it's solid. It's one of the bottles that's always in my house.
Yep. On my shelf back behind me. It's a good pour. My number 3, it's gonna be out in left field for you guys. It's Ezra Brooks Cask Strength.
It's not in left field for me.
Yeah.
I love that pour, and every time I see
amazing.
it, that bottle comes home with me. I enjoy
Me
that.
too. I have an Ezra Brooks Cask Strength and a Rebel Yell Cask Strength. You got a ride and a weeded bourbon. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, buddy.
And
Lux Row just puts out some really solid bourbons and ryes in that $50 to $80 range.
I know. My number 3A is actually the Lux Row double single barrel. If you guys can find that, that's worth
delicious
picking that up. It's very
and
good.
see, I to you guys' credit, I will say this, especially at least this far south in Florida, we don't get a lot of unique items, so I have to kind of rely on you guys to get certain things. We don't get Weller. We just started getting some real Penelope.
Well, you got to do more ABC, Billy. That's what all the Weller is. It's all ABC.
I've never seen Weller in ABC. Never.
No, you gotta. It's now it's a vault with ABC.
Oh, but I'm just saying that's what I'm saying when we talk about availability. Like you guys in certain places can walk into any store, close your eyes, and put your hands on a bottle of Weller.
For sure.
No, that's not true.
No, that's Ohio.
Only Ohio.
But
not true.
We know somebody can do it if they had to.
No, I can get it generally. One of my sources, probably, I don't know if I can get it from that source anymore. I wish, and I hope in the future. But as of right now, I don't want to rely on that completely. But yeah, I can generally get it. But that's how I got my last bottle. 107 it's almost 10 gone. As I was reached out to me and asked me if I needed it. I'm like, yes, I do.
This
Yeah,
this
but yeah,
is why
I
the
mean,
Rebel line is so great. It's better than the Weller line, and it's way more available.
right. And again, like I said, like stuff
I
that
don't
we have
disagree, but I'm
here.
not sure I'm 100% on top of that because what I love about definitely the foolproof, Weller foolproof is their best product in my opinion. And of course, that's obviously my opinion. But
No.
but I'm not gonna pay astronomical prices for it because I have it. But what I'm saying is that if I can find that for honestly under 150, I'm gonna buy it, and I may buy the whole case if they have it. And I know that that's a white person's problem. Again, we were talking about that prior to the show, but I am. I'm going to do that.
No, but
you can
again,
get
it,
2 bottles of Rebel cast strength for the same price. And
I understand, but cast strength Rebel is not as good as foolproof.
I
I'm sorry.
disagree. I totally disagree.
I just think you've not had a bunch of really good bourbons in your life.
Between those,
I'm actually going to sign with
I
Jeff.
love those Rebels, but I'm
Yeah.
going full proof.
Next
Love
time
the
you're
Rebel.
with Jay, ask him about me and Weller. I will pick it out every single time, and it's because it has, to me, it has a metallic taste. Every single time I'm blind tasted, I pick out the Weller, and it's because it has a metallic taste to me.
yeah, and again, like for us here in South
Ooh,
Florida,
Valencia. Ooh, I
Um,
love that one.
He sent it to me twice because I'm running behind on the notes over here on the
You
in the
slapper.
chatter.
It's,
Dude, it's because I suck at this. Dave, it's all
Slapper.
David's fault.
Damn it, Dave.
Fuck you,
It-
David. That's the
we
reason why
just-
I
we-
changed his name inside the VIP, which, by the way, if you're not a member of the VIP, reach out to any guy that's on social media, which would exclude me, and they will help you get into the VIP. But if you notice that, like, Pappy is Jay Cooper, I labeled him as such. The BBC is obviously the BBC. That's what the ladies tell us, anyhow. And then you have, like, fuck you, David. He's obviously fuck you, David. I mean, it is what it is.
Now, Chuck, I got a question for you. Do they not have internet in Quebec?
Oh shit!
No, he's in Quebec, California, and they do have internet.
Oh, that's an excuse.
By the way, they would have Quebec, Canada. They would have internet too. I mean,
I would think so too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we're not talking about
My,
a third world country. We're not
right,
talking about
right.
somewhere out there where they're still doing the click stuff when they talk. We're like,
Lord mercy. So let me get us back on point really quickly. So number 3, I'm going to go 1920 Old Forester.
I agree with that 1,000%. That
Good
is
choice.
a good
Good
choice.
choice.
And
That's
it's
prohibition,
actually, and
right?
it probably seemed to drop.
Is that prohibition?
Yes,
it is
No,
prohibition.
not the
Yeah, it is
prohibition.
because
Yeah,
1910
maybe.
is before the
I think it
prohibition.
is. Yeah.
1920s prohibition.
Yep.
and speaking of Old Forester, shout out to the wife who came home with Statesman on her own, unsolicited.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is a really nice
You know what you
selection.
need? Let me tell you what you need. You need to get yourself one of those blue chews and have some Old Forester Statesman, and you will touch the back door. It'll be all fine. We need
Wow.
to be, I'm telling you, we need to be endorsed by Blue Chew. Anyway, guys, listen, it's been fun. It's been real.
Can I give my number 3?
Oh yeah. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh,
sorry.
hell no.
I'm sorry. David's fault. If he would have been here, we'd been
Damn
on
it,
time
Dave.
and we wouldn't have. So it's totally his
So
fault.
my number 3 is probably not one that a lot of people are going to find. But I've seen it's available in PA a lot. I've seen it in Indiana while I was out there. The Bibb and Tucker 6-year
Well, I'm not.
Ooh.
and the Bibb and Tucker 6-year char. They're
I don't
double
think I've ever
char.
seen that. I don't think
They're
I've ever
double
seen
char. Yes.
Yeah, it is just a really, really good drink.
Very nice pours.
that. Ooh, so real quick, to let y'all all know, I've already put it in the chat, and we'll talk about it a little bit more offline. But the 14th of September, I'm thinking about hosting a little party here to meet and greet Huck and Finn, and their full names are Sir Finnegan and the American Huckleberry. But my baby
28th
daughter,
anniversary. Sorry, bro.
that's okay. It's only a once in a lifetime chance you might be able to meet 2 beautiful donkeys. They're minis. But anyway, they're going to be here. And I know Billy's already talking about flying in, and I know that that's Gino's retirement day. They will be here longer than that. But my point is, I was going to do a first of the time. That and I haven't had a pool party yet this year. You know, I like to throw parties. Jeff, you've been here before on those, and so was Billy. He wasn't here for a party, but we got drunk and hung out in the pool, or hung out by it. And then same with Mark. That's what we did. We sat out there the whole time.
I'll get my Speedo out. Let's do it.
Oh no!
I'm gonna tell you what. If you wear Speedo, I will too.
No.
Hey,
If y'all wearing Speedos, I'm not coming.
That's not true. That's not true. I have a invite for you too.
just for you, Billy.
I'm
I
gonna
won't wear
get
a
us away from
Speedo.
this. My number 3. I didn't get number 3 yet.
Okay, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
shit.
Dude, I suck at this job. I apologize.
Damn
So
it, Dave.
$79.99 MSRP. So tax will bring it over. This is the uncut, the farm strength. So similar to, I guess, Rickhouse Proof from Holiday. This is uncut. It's not a single barrel. It's just after the barrels are blended, before it's proofed down, they do the farm strength. And this can go toe to toe with most of their single barrel. Not a lot of their single barrels. It's for $79.99. This one is, I don't know what the proof is. It's
It was 69 in Indiana. I just picked it up.
124.3 proof.
Nice.
So.
And that's why we can't get it east of the Mississippi. Thanks,
Oh,
Chuck.
they're distributed here in Tennessee.
Are they? No, they're working on expanding.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure where, but they also do it. This one might be online on their shops, but they can also only ship to certain states. So
The only problem with that online stuff is a lot of times if you get to shipping, you're doubling your price.
You can't do that anymore in Tennessee.
Yeah, in Tennessee, you can't ship into it.
Yeah. Anyway, listen, real quick, do we have any alibis that I missed because I'm a failed host that hadn't been hosting for a long time and I don't keep up with the Gestapo stuff like David does?
Say alibis? Yeah, if the cops call you guys, we were together in the same place tonight.
Okay.
Right.
Sure. I mean, I would totally allow for anybody.
Hold that thought.
All right. So if no other alibis are out there,
Yes, one more.
It's been real. We'll move this to the after show.
One more.
Oh fuck.
Be good to yourselves.
I can agree to that.
Right there, man. Yes, sir.
And Rob, nice to see you make a showing, brother. It's been a long time.
I try, my friend. I try.
He's still got the echo in the background though, but it's all good.
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't bring my headset today. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just glad.
Do you have old Shitty with you?
Oh my God!
No,
everybody just wave. Everybody just wave real fast. Bye bye.